2022 has started off as a very promising year for horror, and in this video, we wanted to talk about 3 horror movies that are out right now and that deserve your attention. What I like about these is that they are very different from each other. One of them was increasingly unsettling, the other, surprisingly bittersweet and life-affirming, and the last was a thrilling theater experience. Although the way in which they get under your skin is different, once I was done watching these movies, I immediately felt like giving them another viewing. So if you're looking for a spine-chilling moment during these hot summer days, one of these films might be for you. Rest assured that there will be no spoilers. And this video is kindly sponsored by NordPass, but more on that later. The first movie on our list had me unsettled for the most part of the runtime, worried about what sinister event was waiting around the corner, which was all made worse by the fact that the main cast consists of children. There's just something inherently horrific about children in situations where their fragility is exposed and their innocence is destroyed, especially without adult supervision. The Innocents is a Norwegian film that takes its time to introduce us to 4 children from the same neighborhood during summer break. As they start to get to know each other, they discover that they have supernatural abilities. What's interesting is that they don't see their abilities as superpowers, just skills that they are trying to learn and experiment with. Eventually, they become closer, making their powers grow. But in testing the limits of their abilities, they delve into a deeper darkness that will not only affect their little group, but anyone within their surroundings. If you're sick and tired of superhero stories, let me reassure you that this isn't some X-Men prequel wannabe, or a movie about a secret organization recruiting or catching kids with powers. It's just a bare-bones story about 4 children, and the fallout from their evolving friendship and powers. The child actors do a great job. There isn't that much dialogue, most is expressed through actions, reactions, and expressions. It's very atmospheric, and doesn't feel plot-driven. The film's bright and crisp palette contrasts with the dark and heavy subject matter that is at times explored. You will keep worrying about how far the kids will go with their powers. Oh, and if you are a cat lover, make sure to avoid one scene. You'll know when. There's a certain mean-natured quality that reminded me of Let the Right One In. It's in the violence and lack of remorse. Even the playground made me think of Where Oscar Meets Ellie. There are a few parallels as well with Chronicle, like Dane DeHaan's character's embracing of his dark side. The Innocents gives life to the expression that kids can be so cruel.
Before we go on, this video is sponsored by NordPass. We all manage several accounts in a day, and coming up with a good password isn't always our top priority. The bad thing is, this can leave us wide open to people having access to our accounts. NordPass even did research and found that a lot of people still use their birthdays or convenient keyboard sequences that are easy to hack or just guess. That's why NordPass can be very useful to you. It can do more than just manage your passwords. It can also be a very helpful cybersecurity tool. Use the data breach scanner to find out if any of your information has been leaked and when and where it happened. It can generate complex passwords to keep your accounts secure. And again, the best part is that NordPass keeps track of all your passwords, even across 6 of your devices, so you don't need to retype them all the time. Also, NordPass is a zero-knowledge password manager, which means that no one else but you will know your encryptions. Try it out for yourself and get an exclusive deal by going to nordpass.com/screened or by using our promo code SCREENED. They also offer an additional month for free, and if you try it and you don't like it, NordPass gives you a 30-day money-back guarantee. So follow the link below, nordpass.com/screened.
I would have never thought that I'd qualify a movie about a shape-shifting witch as beautiful or hopeful, and yet here we are. You Won't Be Alone is a Macedonian film set in the 19th century. It's about a girl that was made into a witch, and has lived away from civilization for 16 years. Her curiosity has drawn her to a small village. And there she explores her ability to inhabit the flesh of her victims. She becomes a woman of the village, a man, a child, and even a dog. What's interesting is that since her base form is mute and uneducated, she doesn't speak when inhabiting the initial humans. We get to hear her inner monologue as she learns the rules and societal norms that govern the bodies she takes the shape of. On the outside, she looks odd, even mentally challenged, but in reality, she's just a child, learning about a world she knew nothing of. Although there is gore and there are disturbing moments, after all we are dealing with a witch and the supernatural entity that made her, the horrific elements are offset by the film's unhurried pace and the witch's outlook on life, how she approaches each body, its role and function without judgment, yearning to understand the why of it all. It makes the film feel like a fable. The witch is a narrative tool that's used to explore empathy. It's a type of hopeful existentialism that you don't often see in a horror movie.
If you try to touch me, I'll scratch your face, and whoever's coming will see and ask why.
This face?
The last movie on our list is definitely the most Hollywood of the three, and that's not a bad thing. I kept hearing positive comments about The Black Phone way before it was released, and thankfully, I wasn't misled. This movie's premise sounds very out there, but it's executed pretty convincingly. The Black Phone is the story of a young teen that has been abducted by an often masked serial child killer. He wakes up in a rundown soundproof basement with only a cot, a toilet, and an old disconnected phone. The main character's imprisonment is frequently interrupted by the kidnapper's odd interactions and the puzzling calls from the killer's previous victims. With each conversation, our protagonist is given information that can help him survive the kidnapper's game. I like that the filmmakers take the time to set up the context, the town, the relationships, home life, school life, and also show the toll that child abductions take on the characters. The film is set in the late 70s and at times feels like Stranger Things, but it doesn't rely as much on nostalgia. It's a violent movie where the stakes are high and you are made to care about the characters and root for the protagonist. A major part of that compassion towards the characters comes as a result of the story making you care for them before anything bad happens. It's also the most screenwritery of the three films on our list. What is introduced in the first act is built upon and pays off in the end. You can clearly see the different beats and act structure affecting the protagonist's story arc. Everything that happens, barring a few conveniences, feels definitely earned. And at least for us, it was a very pleasant theater experience. The whole crowd was gasping and cheering at the same time. A must-watch entertaining movie. So what 2022 horror movies have you loved so far? For those of you wondering about our 80s horror video, we are very sorry about the delay. We've been busier than usual these past few months. Hopefully, we will release it soon. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.